Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. Today we join Volusia Here and Now reporter Joanne Magley at the Ocean Center for a look at the track and field convention recently held there. Then we'll explore the topic of sodium in your diet with health reporter Stephanie Strong. How much is too much? Well, the results just might surprise you. Finally, we'll join Community Information Director Dave Byron in the studio with his guest, Michael Brothers of the Marine Science Center in Ponce Inlet. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. The 100 Deputies, 100 Kids program offered by the Volusia County Sheriff's Office has officially outgrown its name. This year's program, hosted by 112 Sheriff's Deputies, brought smiles and holiday cheer to 230 children from across the county. Now in its 24th year, the centerpiece of the 100 Deputies, 100 Kids charity program is a holiday celebration for disadvantaged children. This year's festivities took place December 13th at the Volusia County Fairgrounds, where deputies served 175 pizzas and handed out nearly $13,000 in toys and other presents. Of course, the highlight of the evening was the arrival of Santa Claus. The backbone of the program is a large group of off-duty deputies and other staff members who volunteer their time to raise donations throughout the year and plan the festivities. Deputies, school crossing guards, and guidance counselors nominate needy families to attend the party. The deputies serve as official hosts, picking up the families in their patrol cars and driving them to the Volusia County Fairgrounds. The program was launched in 1989 and has been carried on enthusiastically since Sheriff Ben Johnson took office in 2001.
A lot of these kids would not have a Christmas if it wasn't for the deputies and for our citizens out there who donate for this event, and for our group of civilian employees who throughout the year work to make sure that this event comes off.
For the Sheriff's Office, it's an opportunity to bond with children and give back to the community. It's hard to tell who gets more out of the annual holiday extravaganza, the children or the deputies.
A lot of these kids never see a law enforcement officer except when there's something wrong. And this is the night that they have a chance to find out that this deputy sheriff is their friend.
This year, deputies delivered holiday gifts to an additional 74 children from 24 families. The gifts also were purchased with funds raised by the nonprofit 100 Deputies, 100 Kids program. With the core beach area of Daytona Beach decked out for the holidays, Votran trolley service will begin early this year to give people another transportation option to take in the festivities, shop and dine, or ring in the new year with a designated driver. Votran's colorful and convenient trolleys will be available beginning December 16th for holiday travel along State Road A1A and Beach Street in Daytona Beach, earlier than the usual mid-January start.
We think it's appropriate that Votran operate the trolley service during the Christmas and New Year's holidays this year. There's a lot of things going on over on the beach side, especially with the Light Up Volusia Nights partnership that's going on with the county. There's also opportunities to ice skate over at the band shell, take in some of the sights and sounds of the holiday season, and it just gives visitors and residents of Volusia County another way to do that, take in some sights on the beach side.
During the peak tourist season, trolleys provide service on Atlantic Avenue from noon until midnight to give residents and visitors greater access to jobs and enhance shopping and recreational activities. The Beachside Trolley Program, which serves Atlantic Avenue, is a seasonal program that operates from January until Labor Day. All buses and trolleys are wheelchair accessible. For more information, you can call 386-761-7700 in Daytona Beach, 386-943-7033 in West Volusia, or 386-424-6800 in Southeast Volusia. Thanks to the giving power of public employees throughout Volusia County, it was another record-breaking food drive benefiting hungry families in Volusia County. More than 14,000 employees collected more than 66,000 pounds of food during the second annual Feed the Need food drive. That broke the Feed the Need food drive record from last year, in which 38,000 pounds were collected. For 2 weeks in November, public employees from Volusia County government, Volusia County schools, Daytona State College, and the cities of Daytona Beach Shores, DeBary, DeLand, Edgewater, Holly Hill, New Smyrna Beach, Orange City, Ormond Beach, Pearson, Ponce Inlet, Port Orange, and South Daytona had a friendly competition to see which organization could donate the most food. County Manager Jim Deneen said this food drive is a testament to the generosity of public employees and the magnitude of what can be accomplished when everyone works together.
The beauty of this was we went from helping 400 families to helping almost 1,000, feeding those people for a week. Can make a big difference in people's lives, can help people get on their feet, trying to make their utility bill or whatever, can make a Christmas difference for a lot of people. And so I'm extremely excited about it. The main thing we want to do, though, is not only make sure we get a sizable donation every year, but we want it to become institutionalized so that everyone knows we should do it, everyone's ready for it, and on top of that, the food bank would work a lot better if they had some realistic expectation of how much they would get at certain times. And so they really need to count on things like this. So our goal is to try and institutionalize this, and we have gone gangbusters. It's been great, exceeded my expectations. But you know what didn't exceed my expectations? The generosity of people. And so I really believe that, you know, our people are that generous. So let's strive for even greater next year.
And the organization that raised the most food per full-time employee? Holly Hill, for the second year in a row, with just 106 employees collecting more than 14,000 pounds of food, or 135 pounds per employee. In all, the Public Employee Feed the Need food drive fed more than 955 families of 4 for 7 days.
The County Council is committed to building trails because they improve your quality of life. Trails offer exercise, recreation, access to nature, and alternative transportation routes. They also bring families and friends together to enjoy the outdoors. People of all ages and abilities can enjoy our trails in Volusia County. Whether you're a walker, jogger, inline skater, or bicyclist, we have a trail for you. To learn more about Volusia County's trails, visit volusia.org/trails.
Another large national organization recently chose Volusia County as the location for its annual meeting, bringing hundreds of athletes to the Ocean Center Convention Center. Joanne Magley has more in this week's Volusia Here and Now.
As the sun rose over Daytona Beach, members of the USA Track and Field traded their usual paved track for packed sands. Hundreds of members were in town recently for the group's annual meeting held this year at the Daytona Beach Hilton and the Ocean Center.
Every year we meet for the annual meeting at a different location. This year we chose beautiful sunny Daytona Beach, and the people here have been really wonderful in welcoming us.
Philip Dunn is the athlete representative of USATF Board of Directors.
I'm representing the athletes, and one of the things the athletes want is more visibility for our sport, more opportunities for competition, and for business opportunities. To be quite honest about it, the athletes, we're professionals. We want to try to make money in our sport, and so that's one of the things that I advocate for.
But the meeting isn't all business. The members also get to take part in a 5K beach run right here on the world's most famous beach. One of those members taking part in the race, 2008 and 2012 Olympian Alice Schmidt. What was it like being on the Olympic team?
It was the best. I didn't go home with any medals, so of course everyone is disappointed if you go home without hardware, but I had such a positive experience. Always getting to put on the USA jersey and what that stands for and representing all the people who have helped you along the way is always such a thrill. And London itself was a great host city. We had so much fun.
Schmidt attended the annual meeting as a member of the Athletes Advisory Council. She will take what she learned from the meeting and distribute it to the rest of the athletes, keeping them aware of what's going on in the sport of track and field, a sport she's competed in since middle school.
One thing I think is really great about track and field is that it brings people of like all backgrounds, all cultures, all nationalities together. It's just really inclusive and always fun to see everybody turn out for events.
For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Joanne Magley.
Some folks here in Volusia County may be putting too much sodium in their everyday diet. Too much salt and sodium is unhealthy for you, and excessive salt intake has been proven to be a major contributor to heart attack and stroke, the first and third leading causes of death in the United States. Health Department Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong takes a closer look at ways to control your sodium intake in this segment of Community Health Matters.
When you eat that next meal, pay attention to the sodium. You don't want too much. It can make you sick and cause health problems.
Sodium chloride, which is salt, can elevate one's blood pressure. And an elevated blood pressure leads to heart disease, stroke, and potential kidney damage. And those are the leading causes of death in this country. So it's very important for folks to be mindful of salt. We not only have salt in the salt shaker, but also hidden salt in our food. And we really should try to decrease the amount of salt in our diet down to 2,300 milligrams, which was really only about a teaspoon, to avoid high blood pressure and the consequences of high blood pressure.
Hi, I'm Lisa Funches, Nutrition Program Director at the Volusia County Health Department. Before you eat that next meal, you might want to ask yourself, where's the sodium? One way to find out where the sodium is located is to read your nutrition fact label, as most of the sodium that is found in food is found in processed foods or restaurant foods. Here are some helpful tips. Limit foods that have 20% or more of the daily value of sodium. These foods are high in sodium. Limit the number of meals at fast food restaurants. Limit frozen dinners that are high in sodium. And do not add salt to foods for babies. Do not give babies foods that are high in sodium. By following these healthy eating tips, you and your family too can stay healthy.
Thanks, Lisa. To eat healthy, remember, stay away from foods that are high in sodium. Follow these easy cooking tips when preparing your meals. Use fewer sauces, mixes, instant products, condiments, and salad dressings, which have added salt. Buy the no salt added or reduced sodium version of foods. Buy fresh poultry, fish, and lean meat rather than smoked, cured, or processed types. And choose fruit or vegetables at snack time instead of those salty snack foods. Also make sure you eat foods high in potassium. Potassium can help with blood pressure. Foods high in potassium include bananas, potatoes, cantaloupes, dried apricots, orange juice, prunes, prune juice, tomato products, dry beans, peas, and lentils, honeydew melon, dried peaches, and those green leafy vegetables. Making the right food choices will help to decrease the sodium in your meals and your family's meals. A key to healthy eating is choosing and preparing foods lower in salt and sodium. For more information, please visit www.cdc.gov. For Volusia Magazine and on behalf of the Volusia County Health Department, your guide to better health, I'm Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong.
As always, if you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can log on to volusiahealth.com.
Hello everyone, we're the Ross family from Ramstein Air Base, Germany, and we'd like to wish our friends and family back in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, a very happy holidays.
Happy holidays!
And now let's head into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron and his guest, Michael Brothers of the Marine Science Center over in Ponce Inlet.
Well, thank you, Amber, and happy holidays, everyone. Volusia County's Marine Science Center in Ponce Inlet is dedicated to educating the community about the coastal environment and to provide clinics to rehabilitate seabirds and turtles. These days, the Marine Science Center is seeing record numbers of visitors for its special events and daily admission. And most recently, the center has been taking in injured pelicans that have been affected by the recent hurricane that hit the New York, New Jersey area. If you're looking for a great day during the holiday period, why not visit the county's Marine Science Center? Here today to tell us more about this county facility is the Marine Science Center manager, Michael Brothers. Michael, thanks for being with us. Happy holidays.
And to you also.
Oh, you all have been in the news quite a bit. First of all, let's talk about these pelicans that you've taken in from the New Jersey, New York area. Kind of a sad story in one respect, but one that has a happy ending. Tell us about it.
Well, you are right. I mean, this was, such a tragedy. There was so much destruction and human suffering. But that suffering actually extended beyond the people to some of the wildlife in the area. And in our particular case, there were some brown pelicans that were blown well out of their normal range and up to Rhode Island. One landed on Narragansett, Rhode Island. One landed 150 miles offshore onto a fishing boat out off of Block Island, Rhode Island. They were brought into a rehabilitation center in Rhode Island. And luckily, the people arranged for a flight for some wonderful folks that live in the Spruce Creek fly-in community, arranged to have their personal airplane. They stripped the seats out of it, made enough room, got a pilot and a co-pilot to fly all the way to Rhode Island, picked up 2 of these pelicans and brought them back here to Florida and to the Marine Science Center. And that was followed by 2 more pelicans that they managed to put aboard a Delta flight, flew into Daytona International Airport. We went over to the airport and picked up 2 more brown pelicans, and now we have them all at the Marine Science Center, and they're actually doing very well.
Mike, it's unusual for pelicans to go that far north. They truly were blown almost out of their natural habitat, correct?
Absolutely. They normally get up about the Chesapeake Bay area, and there were only, previous to this, there were only about a dozen records for the brown pelican in Rhode Island at all, so extremely rare up in that region. So they were well out of their range. They were, of course, beaten up by the storm. One even had frostbite, so you could see the animals were not adapted to that type of cold.
So pretty soon they're going to be on their way, huh?
Yes, if the weather holds out tomorrow, we're going to be sending them on their way and back to the wild.
Mike, for those people that are not familiar with the county's Marine Science Center, give us kind of a description of this facility. It's kind of a unique service that county government provides.
You are very correct in that we are unusual in that we are kind of a combination of different types of facilities. We are at an exhibiting museum with exhibits and aquariums and a chance for people to learn more about the marine life of our region, including a stingray touch pool, a wide variety of exhibits about the marine life of the area, and a chance to look in to our sea turtle hospital and take a look at the injured turtles that we have in. And we actually have just established a new viewing window where we've actually allowed a portal to view into where they're working on the sea turtles, and so you can actually see our veterinarian and our staff at work on the sea turtles.
No private room then for the turtles?
No, there's no privacy around. So,
and my understanding is the attendance is setting new records.
It is amazing. Last year we set a new record. We were up 19% last year, and of course. You always wonder, can you maintain that? And luckily in November, we just finished the month, and we actually were up another 18% in November over last year.
I think that the word every year gets out more and more. You're getting this reputation not just in Florida, but along the East Coast as being a facility where people can bring, as you say, the injured seabirds or the injured turtles, and you're actually taking in a number of animals, as you say, all the way up into New England, South Florida, etc.
Yes, and not only the birds that we had just
Right.
spoken about, but also sea turtles. And,
Right.
and we have a wonderful relationship with the University of Florida. One of the great strides that we've managed to develop just relatively recently in the last year, a little bit, is to have a veterinarian from the School of Veterinary Medicine, Aquatic Medicine program of the University of Florida. That has borne fruit recently with a real wonderful development where this a particular parasitic protozoan called Cariospora infects a wide variety of birds and also reptiles, and actually has caused, it occurs in green sea turtles and has caused some massive deaths in Australia and some other places.
Really?
It's never been successfully treated. We actually piloted a new treatment, and had never been used before in sea turtles, and we actually had the first case of actually curing this parasitic disease right at the Marine Science Center.
Wow, that's unbelievable. I hadn't heard that story.
That's brand new.
Phenomenal. Michael, for those folks that would like to come by the Marine Science Center, you mentioned the fact that you now have a viewing area where the public can stop and watch the animal rehab specialists take care of these injured sea turtles. That was kind of like your first, the sea turtles was your first rehab area, and you later added the bird component. But let's talk about what you do with the sea turtles. It's fascinating.
Well, we have we are really one of the major sea turtle hospitals in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we, as you were mentioning earlier, have been host to a number of sea turtle incidences that, of course, occur in Volusia County, but even beyond our borders.
Right.
And just recently, there was a cold snap event. So not only was the Northeast hit by the terrible superstorm Sandy, but also the sea turtles in the Northeast were hit by a cold stun event, which means the water temperatures dropped very quickly, and the sea turtles were unable to get out of the area in time, and hundreds of sea turtles stranded on the coast of Massachusetts. So especially in the Cape Cod area, there were a tremendous number of sea turtles that were brought into the New England Aquarium in Boston. They were overrun with sea turtles, and so they worked with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Service, and arranged for a consortium of facilities to get together and deal with some of their just overrun of sea turtles. So they worked with the Coast Guard to fly up to Boston, pick up the sea turtles, and brought them to Orlando, where the Marine Science Center, the Florida Aquarium, SeaWorld, the Mote Marine Laboratory, and the Loggerhead Marine Life Center all got together and took 36 of these sea turtles, 5 of them coming to the Marine Science Center. We took some of the largest ones because we have the facility and expertise to deal with those larger ones, and have 5 sea turtles from the New England Aquarium right now.
And those guys can be pretty big. You've taken in some pretty good sized turtles.
Yeah, sometimes. These are medium sized, actually a size that normally doesn't occur in our area. They're about 40 to 80 kilograms. That's less than 100 pounds or so. But some of the ones that we've gotten in have ranged up to 275 pounds.
Yeah, it takes
really huge.
More than one person to lift them up, for sure.
It does indeed.
In more recent years, you've opened your bird rehab component. I guess it's called Mary Keller Seabird
Rehabilitation Center.
And that's where the pelicans and the other birds that you care for, that's where they're taken care of. Tell us about the bird component.
This has been a remarkably successful endeavor for us. We have a facility that really cares for a huge variety of the seabirds that come into our area. And it's really not just the seabirds, but we've had over 175 different species of birds brought into our center. We've cared for over 10,000 birds since it opened in 2004. And of course, those pelicans are part of that process. But we also get a wide variety of loons and egrets and herons and a wide variety of birds.
So you also do a number of classes throughout the year. A lot of school kids come to the Marine Science Center for an educational experience. Tell us about that portion of the Marine Science Center.
You know, we have thousands of school kids that come every year, and we do everything from kind of a general tour of the facility to more in-depth programming where we can take the kids out seine netting, or they can actually take samples and examine some of the organisms that we can capture. We take plankton samples, and they can actually bring the plankton samples back into our laboratory. They can work with the microscopes and actually learn to identify the plankton that help to form the basis of the food chain in the marine environments. And it gives the kids a chance to explore not only the Marine Science Center, but this wonderful environment where the Marine Science Center is really situated in this incredible location right in a component of Lighthouse Point Park, which gives us the Atlantic Ocean, the jetties, the inlet, mangroves, right there at our doorstep.
So, Mike, for those folks that may want to get more information, when are your hours, how much does it cost, and where do you get more help?
The Marine Science Center is the best deal around. We are open from Tuesday through Saturday from 10 until 4, Sundays noon to 4, and the admission is $5 for adults, $4 for seniors, and only $2 for children, and under 3 are free.
Wow, that's awesome. So do you have a website where people can check you out?
Absolutely, marinesciencecenter.com.
Well, Michael Brothers, manager of the county's Marine Science Center, you guys are doing great work down there. It's a great place and lots of fun for the whole family. So thanks for sharing the information with us today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
And again, Happy New Year and Happy Holidays to you.
And the best to you.
And back to you, Amber, and Happy Holidays, everyone.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. As always, if you have any questions about our program, please give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org. You can also watch the show online. Just go to volusia.org and click on the Volusia Magazine icon. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's public information radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see listed here. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a great evening.